witnessing the briefing of the President of Prime Infrastructure, Mr. Guillaume Lucci, about the Upper Wawa Dam project. The Upper Wawa Dam, which is the second phase of the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project, is fully operational. This infrastructure will ensure sustainable water supply, benefiting over 700 households or 3.5 million Filipinos. The 85-meter main dam was completed ahead of schedule in March, setting a new benchmark unparalleled with projects of similar scale. And now we shall proceed to the ceremonial pressing of the button that shall close the bottom valve of the gate and signal the start of impounding process to fill up the dam's reservoir. On the count of 3, Mr. President, may we request you to please press the button. 3, 2, 1, and press. Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations to Prime Infra and Wawa JVCO for this important milestone and the delivery of the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project. Once again, thank you, Mr. President. We may now be seated. To deliver his welcome remarks and give an overview of the impounding process of the Wawa Dam, may we call on the Prime Infra President and CEO, Mr. Guillaume Lucci.
Your Excellency, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., national and local government officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Magandang umaga po. I'm delighted to welcome you to the impoundment process ceremony for the Upper Wawa Dam. The closing of the bottom outlet to start the final impounding, in other words, the filling up of the reservoir, marks a milestone in our project delivery. It ushers the next phase for Prime Infra and Wawa JVCO's Upper Wawa Dam. Together with the San Lorenzo Rears Builder Group, we started the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project in 2019 at the height of the water crisis, which highlighted the urgent need for an additional source of water supply. It gives me great pleasure that this project was built in record time considering its scale and magnitude, as you can witness, and of course, despite the challenges that we faced during the pandemic. Phase 1, much smaller, has been operational since October 2022 in response to that urgent need. And you see behind me Phase 2, the Upper Wawa Dam, which is significantly larger, with its year-long 710 million liters per day of water supply. This large-scale infrastructure promises long-term solutions to water security, increasing the availability of bulk water for the greater metropolitan area. This critical infrastructure will be operational by the end of 2025. It is the biggest water source to be built in 50 years. Its total capacity will support the needs of 700,000 households, or about some 3.5 million Filipinos, in the service area of the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, MWSS. It will also serve as flood control mitigation to alleviate the recurrent risk of flooding faced by the communities downstream of the Marikina watershed. Your presence today, Mr. President, signifies a national government special focus on water security, as you mentioned in your state address last year. This project is, however, much more. It provides us with the reservoir to integrate our pump storage project and ensure grid stability in support of the government's agenda in accelerating the deployment of renewable energy. It is, in fact, the first step towards what will become a unique water supply, renewable energy storage industrial complex here in Rizal. As part of this project, we of course continue to fulfill our role as stewards of the environment by protecting and enhancing the watershed system in the Upper Marikina River basin. Efforts that are essential to the environmental and social resilience of Rizal, and we will of course continue to work very closely hand in hand with the local government units and with the indigenous people. We stand very proud of what we've accomplished together. Aligned with Prime Infra's purpose to build better lives and resilient economies through critical infrastructure, we are very proud to develop a project that not only addresses the country's sustainability needs, but also gives Filipinos something to be truly proud of. Thank you. Good morning. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Lucci. Now, may we ask everyone to focus your attention to the screen to witness the rapid progress of the Upper Wawa Dam project. Have it. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause for this landmark achievement for the Upper Wawa Dam. At this juncture, to deliver her message, may we invite the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, or MWSS, Administrator, Engineer Leonor Cleofas.
His Excellency President Ferdinand R Jr., our Cabinet Secretaries, fellow government servants, distinguished guests, allies in water security, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po. Today we witness the realization of a long-term vision. President Ferdinand R Marcos envisioned water security by tapping the Kaliwa-Kanan Agos River Basin in the 1970s. The President realized that we cannot continue our reliance to the Angat Dam, which services 90% of Mega Manila's water needs. We needed a comprehensive plan for water and thus the foresight behind the Liban Dam. More than 57 years later, we still adhere to the wisdom of building a sustainable water infrastructure. And today, honored in the presence of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., we commenced the impoundment of the new Upper Wawa Dam project. In 2019, Wawa JBCO and Manila Water, with the cooperation of MWSS, signed a Memorandum of Understanding to explore the synergies for the improved Wawa bulk water supply project. That same year, the raw water supply offtake agreement was signed among MWSS, Manila Water, and Wawa JBCO. This coordination brings us to this moment where our existing water supply will be augmented by about 710 million liters per day through the Upper Wawa Dam project. We are proud to say that the Upper Wawa Dam is a key component of MWSS water security pillars and is part of MWSS medium-term water source programs. Along with other projects, we aim to meet the future needs of the 20 million residents in the metropolis and nearby provinces, Cavite, portion of Cavite, Rizal, and Bulacan by our 3 concessionaires until 2050. We acknowledge the support of the different departments and agencies of the government. Marami pong salamat. Our private partners, particularly our East Zone concessionaire, Manila Water Company, and our partners from the Wawa JB, and Prime Infra under the leadership of Mr. Enrique K. Rason Jr. President Ferdinand Marcos has consistently emphasized the importance of public-private partnership. As a country dedicated to economic growth and innovation, we leverage the strengths of both the government and the private sector for water infrastructure development. As this project renews the old Wawa Dam, which was the only water source for the capital in 1909, we also strengthen our water supply for the future. We are doing the same through the Kaliwa Dam project, which construction and tunneling works are currently underway. Congratulations to Wawa JB and Prime Infra for their unwavering commitment to implement projects aligned with the strategic infrastructure development agenda of our President, the Build Better More program. Sa ating mahal na Pangulo, maraming salamat, Mr. President, sa inyong suporta at tiwala at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Engineer Cleophas. Now, to introduce the President, may we call on DNR Secretary Maria Antonia Yulo Loizaga.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you very much to our DNR Secretary Maritoni Yulo Loizaga. Please take your seats. The other members of the cabinet who are here to watch and to commemorate this important event that we have today. The MWSS Administrator, Leonel Cleophas. The Prime Infrastructure Capital Incorporated President and CEO, Mr. Guillaume Lucci. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. and a pleasant day to everyone. In the past years, Metro Manila and its surrounding areas have constantly grappled with water shortage problems. The Angat Dam, where the metropolis is sourcing a significant bulk of its water, can no longer meet the needs of around almost 20 million people living in the area. After all, it's more than 50 years, built in the 60s and completed during the time of my father, when the population of Metro Manila was just 3 million. Suffice it to say, we need a new source of water to ensure the water security of Metro Manila and surrounding areas now and in the decades to come. And that's why we are all very happy to be here today to lead the impounding process ceremony of the Upper Wawa Dam. This significant milestone marks the completion of the construction of the dam component of Phase 2 of the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project. The Upper Wawa Dam will be the biggest water source to be built in the country in over 50 years, next to the Angat Dam. It is commendable that it was completed with remarkable speed despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which slowed down the progress of projects and industries during the time that this was being built. Having been accomplished a year ahead of schedule, this monumental development has set a new standard for infrastructure projects of similar magnitude in terms of scale and impact. We are very fortunate to have found a private sector partner that will join us in spearheading this endeavor. I recognize that Prime Infrastructure Capital, its joint venture Wawa JVCO, and the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage system for your continuing commitment to building critical infrastructure systems that will address the needs of our people and of our country. Not only are these projects truly representative of what the government is working on to achieve infrastructure resilience, but this initiative also brings the most effective practices on environmental preservation. Indeed, the fruit of your meaningful collaboration, the Upper Wawa Dam, is a groundbreaking achievement, not only in providing a basic need for millions of Filipinos, but also in easing concerns on climate change-related challenges such as we have just gone through with the El Nino. In fact, Phase 1 of the project, or the Tayabasan Weir, has improved the water supply situation in Rizal by providing a substantial water source, benefiting both the residents and businesses. The water supply from the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project is set to increase from 80 million today to 438 million liters per day once Phase 2 of the project of the Upper Wawa Dam starts its operations the end of 2025, which could increase to 710 million liters per day in the following years. These 438 to 710 million liters per day translate to supporting the water supply needs of about 2.2 to 3.5 million Filipinos in the MWSS service area. This dam will also foster climate resilience amongst our people by protecting our communities downstream from flooding and by mitigating the detrimental effects of drought. It also complements other groundbreaking projects we are currently undertaking across the country, which aim to provide reliable and potable water supply, especially in the countryside and in the far-flung areas. Without a doubt, the progress that we have made here at the Upper Wawa Dam is a significant stride towards our goal of social and economic transformation. I now ask the Prime Infra and its joint venture Wawa JVCO to continue collaborating with the DNR, prioritize watershed protection in the Upper Wawa Dam, as well as the reforestation and biodiversity preservation in the Upper Marikina River Basin protected landscape. Please continue implementing these innovative designs and practices in your initiatives so that you can uphold the delicate balance of our ecosystem and continue to reinforce our nation's resilience against ecological adversities. I also call on our stakeholders, particularly those operating other dams nationwide, to maximize the use of your facilities by integrating other uses for the captured water, such as for the generation of renewable energy. Let us work together in this endeavor to create a more sustainable and energy-efficient future for our nation. Water is a finite resource, while the demand for it is ever increasing. We need to use water wisely, as many times and for as many purposes as possible. We need to build more multi-purpose dams to ensure water supply, not only for drinking, but also for irrigation, power generation, flood control, aquaculture, and hopefully other technologies that we may engage in the future. I likewise call upon every Filipino to amplify our efforts to conserve the country's water resources. Let us remember that the stewardship of these resources is not just a task, but a shared responsibility of us all. Rest assured that this administration remains firm in its resolve to pursue a more transformative endeavor that will champion the optimal health and growth of Filipinos across the country. We will continue to address water security challenges to ensure that every Filipino has access to sufficient and clean water. At the end of the day, water remains at the core, not only for human survival, but also for national development. Water is life. Water is life for human beings. Water is life for our economy. Water is life. Let us not only consider this as a milestone in our nation's development, but also as a symbol of our collective determination to lead better lives and shape a more promising bagong Pilipinas for the Filipinos. Thank you and congratulations to everyone for bringing us to this extremely important day that we commemorate with great pride and gratitude. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your inspiring words. At this point, may we request the President to kindly grant us a photo opportunity. For set 1, may we call on the Cabinet Secretaries, MWSS, and Prime Infra officials to please come forward. For the rest of the guests, please be seated. DNR officials and project partners, please get ready. Thank you. Please exit to your right. For set 2, may we please call the DNR officials and project partners to come forward. Local government officials and IP stakeholders, please stand by. Thank you. May we call on the local government officials and IP stakeholders to please proceed to the viewing deck. Once again, may we call on the local government officials and IP stakeholders to please proceed to the viewing deck. Prime Infra and Wawa JVCO officials and staff, please stand by.
Hop, na po po. Ayun na po yan. Okay na po.
Thank you. Please exit to your right. Finally, may we call on the Prime Infra and Wawa JVCO officials and staff to come forward.
Ako na mag-MC mo. Okay. Thank you very much. Please exit to your left or right. That ends our photo opportunity.
And that concludes the impounding process ceremony of the